your use of caffeine to enhance performance is going to be very individual to you. Whilst the majority of athletes tend to find benefit in using it for endurance performance, there are some for whom the side effects outweigh the benefits. In our previous video, Abby explained how to identify whether you're more or less likely to be one of the people who finds it beneficial. And if you are, we're now going to dive into how you might use it before key training sessions and races for best effect. In the final few days before an event, there's no need to significantly ramp up your caffeine consumption. In actual fact, with all the anxiety and pre-race nerves, that will probably have a very detrimental effect, and your body can't store and use caffeine later as you can with, say, carbohydrates, so just maintaining normal consumption is probably the best thing. You may have heard of some athletes looking to go cold turkey and completely eliminating caffeine in the days before an event in order to get a perceived enhanced boost on race day when caffeine's reintroduced. That can have merit in some circumstances and may work for some people, but in general, the withdrawal symptoms of coming off caffeine in the final few days, if you are someone who uses it every day, can outweigh the benefits. So in general, the best advice is to maintain a normal level of caffeine consumption right up to race day. The optimal window for pre-caffeinating before an event is around 30 to 60 minutes before the start. The reason for that is that caffeine, once ingested, takes about 15 minutes to start to show in the bloodstream and be active in the body, but continues to peak for up to 45 to 60 minutes later. So if you take it too close to the start and it's a short event, you may not feel the effects until it's too late. On the other hand, if you take it way too early in the day, it may have peaked and the effects may have started to drop off before the gun goes off. In terms of dosages, caffeine recommendations are made in milligrams of caffeine per kilogram of body weight, so they relate to your muscle mass and your size. The usual recommendation is 3 to 6 milligrams per kilo. So for someone of my size and weight, around 70 kilograms, that means 200 plus milligrams of caffeine before the start. The way I would do that is to have a very strong cup of coffee, which could have up to 100 milligrams of caffeine in it, and then to top that off with 100 milligram PF30 caffeine gel around 15 minutes before the start. There's a mantra, nothing new on race day, and that definitely applies to the use of caffeine. Whatever you're going to do, you should try it beforehand in lots of training sessions to make sure you know exactly how your body's going to react. That includes testing the dosages, the timing of your intake, and the type of products you're going to use, so you know exactly what your body's going to do when you want it to perform at its best. So that takes care of how to use caffeine immediately before activities. In the next video, we're going to dive in to look in more detail at how to use it during exercise of different durations.